Welcome to the Shattered Ground, an autumn of hollow hells and dry wells, where the village waits for the darkness it once forgot. The season is turning in the quiet corner of the Forgotten Realms, where the village of Thornfield has held its ground for 300 years. Harvest hangs heavy in the fields, gold and amber under a pale autumn sun. Yet the harvest feels less like a blessing this year and more like a held breath. Livestock vanish from locked pens. In the deep hours, things with voices that do not sound like wolves cry out from the tree line, and in the village square the old well has gone dry for the first time in living memory. Its bucket coming up full of dust and silence. The elders mutter an old name over their ale, a name most villagers have stopped believing in. The Shattered Crown. The artifact that once kept the darkness at bay. It was broken long ago, they say, and its pieces scattered. Now the darkness remains. The darkness seems to be remembering the way home. Morning finds you standing at the edge of the village square, where the cobbles are still damp with dew and the smell of wood smoke and baking bread curls through the air. Farmers haul carts of turnips towards the mill, and blacksmith's hammers rings in the steady rhythm from his forge. Two children argue over a dropped apple near the dry well. Every face you pass carries the same look, that particular tightness of people who slept badly and heard more than they wish they had. A few glance your way. A dragonborn is not a common sight in Thornfield, and the villagers are already weary of strangers bearing old magic in their blood. You are Archon Sands, exiled from your brass dragon clan, and the weight you carry has nothing to do with the pack on your back. Well, it would be if I didn't forget my backpack. You travel these lands, hunting the thing that must be destroyed to undo the deed of your youth, a mistake that cost you the only love you have ever known. The clan cast you out until that wrong is righted, and so you walk, and so you search. Your crystal focus hums faintly at your hip, in your pocket a small amulet you have not yet found the courage to look at, let alone throw away. Thornfield was meant to be a waypoint, a meal, a night's rest before the road north, but the air here has the taste of a story already in motion, and you have learned to recognize that taste. It is Elder Greymore who finds you, as if he had been waiting for exactly this kind of stranger. He is old in the way of men who have outlived their own certainty, leaning on a gnarled staff, his eyes pale and sharp behind a lifetime of weather. He introduces himself without ceremony, and then asks you a question that is not quite a question, whether you believe old legends can wake up. Before you can answer, he nods towards the dry well. The children have wandered off, and for a moment the square is quiet enough to hear something from its depths, a sound like breathing, or the last note of a song you almost recognize. He tells you that whatever it is taking the livestock. It comes from whispering woods to the north, and that whatever is in the woods, the legend says, was once sealed by the crown that no longer exists. He invites you to the village hall, where he will tell you the whole story. He does not tell you what the well has to do with any of it. Where do I begin? Do I follow Elder Greymore into the village hall? He speaks of the Shattered Crown as if he had held it himself. His hands shake when he says the word shattered. Do I approach the dry well first? Something below the village square is breathing, and the morning light does not quite reach the bottom of it. Do I walk to the edge of the whispering woods? The tree line is closer to the village than the farmers remember, and one tree in particular seems to have grown a shadow that does not match its shape. Where does the morning find you? Well, I don't want to listen to an old-timer, so I think I will.
Yeah, I don't know. That could give you some information. You need to kill it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go have a look at this well that he's talking about, actually.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Just before you do, see on the side where it says parties, NPCs, and covenants.
Parties?
No, the other side, the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Yeah. So you'll see how he's in there already, and he's friendly towards you. Just be careful when you do shit, because he might. It'll tell you if your rep goes up and down in that page.
Oh, and then I might follow Elder Greymore.
Yeah. It's just like all of a sudden he's like, oh fuck, actually he's got rep. I got rep now.
I might follow Elder Greymore to the village hall.
Ask for some food while you're there.
I'm a little bit hungry, and I only have fishing tackle.
Yeah. Oh, no, I would have ripped that in there. Like, follow Grandma to the village hall whilst on my way with Elder Greymore. Ask if he has anything to eat. It's too late now because you only get one turn, so you
I
can if
will,
you can
once
like
I enter into the inn, I will ask
yeah.
him for something to eat. The village hall is long. There's a long, low building of grey timber at the square's eastern edge. The outer Gramer walks you there with the unhurried gait of a man who has made this journey 1,000 times. He does not speak until the door is closed behind you. Inside, the air is warm and heavy with beeswax and old paper. A single window lets in it. Single window? Come on, man. Lets in a square of pale autumn light that falls across the long oak table. I suppose it keeps it warm, scattered with maps, a cold hearth, and a shelf ledger, books whose spines have failed colour of dry leaves.
It's a click or spacebar so it can continue the story. Yeah.
He gestures you to a chair, pours 2 cups of small beer from a clay jug, and sets one before you. I've told the story so many times this month I'm starting to believe it myself, he says, settling into his own chair with a creak of old bones. 300 years the village stood, and the woods stayed quiet. That's what the ground brought us. Not magic, you can see, just peace. The kind you stop noticing, the way you stop noticing your own heartbeat until it skips. The crown, he explains, was forged in an age of the history books barely remember, and it was not a king's crown, it was a seal, a lock, a lid with something that lives beneath the ruined keep north of the woods. When it was shattered, the pieces were scattered, so the seal could never be remade. That was the design at least, but a seal that cannot be remade is also a seal that cannot be renewed, and whatever the crown held down has been growing restless for a long, slow time. He taps a finger on a map, on a marked ruin called the Shattered Keep, just beyond the tree line. The livestock aren't taken by the wolves, he said. Wolves need blood. Whatever comes out of those woods leaves nothing but quiet. On his desk, half hidden under a sack of harvest records, lies a shard of dark metal, no longer in his thumb, dull as old iron. And he does not offer to show it to you. He only looks at it once, briefly, the way a man looks at a grave he intends to visit later. Then he turns his pale eyes to you. The old tales say the crown broke into 5 pieces, scattered across this region. Find them, and the seal can be remade. The first piece of the stories are true lies somewhere beneath the keep. Hold on, I thought once a seal was shattered, it cannot be remade or renewed. Okay.
Well, you could remake it.
He has high hopes. The first piece, if the stories are true, he lets the silence sit for a moment. But the woods stand between here and there, and the woods are not what they were when I was young enough to walk them. The hall was quiet. Through the single window you can hear the blacksmith hammer start up again, patient and steady, and somewhere beyond the rooftops the edge of the whispering wood stands dark against the morning. Alden watches you, and it is clear he will not press. And equally clear he has been waiting a long time for someone like you to walk into his village. Alden finishes his beer and sets the cup down with a soft thunk. You'll want supplies before you cross those trees, he says, not unkindly. Mira keeps the general store by the mill, and Sister Asher at the shrine of the candle mends what the woods break. They know the village, and they know the forest better than they like to admit. He rises, leaning on the staff, and moves to the window. There's one tiny little window. The morning has brightened, but the tree line still holds its shadow like a held breath. I'm not asking you to walk into that keep for Fawnfold, he says quietly, the glass rival into you. I'm asking because if the seal is truly failing, the woods will not stop at our fences, they will spread. It always has before. He turns his pale eyes, very tired. Whatever you decide, the whole store stays open, and the small bear stays cold. A shard of dark metal still lies half buried under the harvest records, and you can feel the question of it hanging in the air between you. Outside, the blacksmith's hammer falls silent, and for a moment the whole village seems to be listening to something along the rooftop, something that has not quite made it yet. The road north waits, the well waits, the shard waits. The road north waits, the well waits, the shard waits. Which do you ask about first? Leaning back in my chair. I'm taking a long draught of my beer. I casually inquire, any bread is available. And mayhap some soup. Some stew. To ease. Some stew to ease. A rumbling belly. I think I will head to the well. The well waits. Let us see what he replies to me.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
How did it go? What did you do?
Leaning back in my chair and taking a long draught of my beer, I casually inquire if any bread is available and mayhap some stew to ease my grumbling belly. I think I will head to the well. The well waits. The North Road waits. The well waits. The Shard waits. Which do I ask about first? Alden's eyebrows climb and a dry laugh rumbles out of him. He's not fading. The first sound close to warmth you've heard from the old man. A dragon born with a mortal body. Belly. Good. Hunger keeps the body honest, and you'll want honesty before woods get their hooks in you. He disappears into a side room and returns with a clay bowl of stew, still steaming, and a heel of dark bread with a smear of butter. He sets them before you without ceremony. Eat. The well will still be dry when you're done, and the dust won't go either. The stew is simple. Root vegetables and a hair's worth of meat. It's hot and salted and settles in the hollow of your chest. Outside, the blacksmith hammer has started again, patient as a heartbeat. When you step out of the hall a few minutes later, the square is quieter than before. The farmers have gone to the fields, the children vanished. The morning is warmed, and the dry well stands alone in the middle of the cobbles like a stone mouth gone silent. Wow, thank you for the recommendation. I got fed.
Bo, there's also, like, you see those notes bits? I'd start writing notes in, Bo. He gave you a character that owns a shop, and he's recommended you to it. So what you can do is grab her name. Maria, that one. So I'd copy that. And then if you click that note, see the notes down the bottom and the right there, you can click on that, and then you can go to World, or MISC, or whatever, and then throw it in there. And then I'd write it. I don't think it paste. Oh no, I don't think you copied it. Just write it. Oh, there it is. No, it should just take no time to save.
No, it won't let me right click paste. It won't let me Control V.
Oh, okay, that's fair. So when you go see Mira at the general sports, when you go see that Mira bitch at the general store, what I suggest you do is you like do a backpack out of her by saying, "Oh, this old man has like sent me on this adventure. I'm a little bit light on supplies. I need a backpack. I don't have heaps of money at the moment, but I can pay you when I get back. If there's something I can do, because I'm helping your village with the water, and then see if she'll give you a free backpack, bro."
That's a good idea. I'll try that. You cross to it slowly. The bucket and rope lie coiled beside the lip, and the old iron crank is furred with rust. Leaning over the edge, you look down into the dark. The bottom is dust and shadow and the smell of cold and stone. And then from somewhere down there you hear it again. The soft rhythm you caught earlier. Something like breathing or the last note of a song you almost recognize rising out of the dark and waiting for you to answer it. I'm going to roll a perception check.
Yeah.
I am wise. Oh, I failed.
Got a +3 and still failed it.
I rolled a D28. With +3.
Yeah, and you got a 12.
Of the bottom row gives you nothing.
Dude, I rolled a D20 with a +5, bro, and got a 6. Don't even worry about it.
You lean, you strain, you hold your breath, but the sound stays just out of reach. A rhythm with no shape to it, too steady for an animal, too formless for a voice. It could be breathing, it could be the last note of a song you almost remember. You cannot tell, and not knowing sits in your chest like a swallowed stone. As you straighten, your hand brushes the cord rope and you notice something that does not fit. The hemp near the bottom of the cord is dark and damp, as if lowered into water recently. Recently enough that the morning sun has not dried it, but the well is dry. The dust at the bottom is undisturbed, and yet something down there got this rope wet. Or somebody did. The square is quiet. The blacksmith's hammer rings in the distance. Whatever made that sound is still down there, waiting. What do you do with a well that is dry and a rope that is wet?
Well, the thing is here, you don't have to continue on this path. You can go, like, set yourself up for, like, the rest of the shit, and then jump down the well if you want to. Yeah, here you go. Now you're getting it. Because it doesn't play like straight D&D with the AI in it. You can mold this so many different ways, because it's not like you have to follow your DM's. Like, you know, obviously when you DM, you have like a storyline you want to follow, and then you have some variation that the people can do as you go, and then you write the next week's one with some variation as well.
Books you used to read when you were kids.
Yeah, but this one you can shape your story.
Yeah,
you can shape your whole story going forward, bro. It's so good.
You leave the well and its questions behind, crossing the square with the damp rope still nagging at the back of your mind. The mill sits at the village eastern edge where the stream bends, its great wheel turning slow and patient, and the general store is tucked against the side. A sturdy building of grey timber with a painted sign above the door, showing a sheaf of wheat and a crossed hammer. The door gives a cheerful bell as you push it open. What's this lass's name?
Mirror. But yeah, you've got more dialogue to go through there, but I'd also note down that wet rope, just in case you forget about it between now and the next time.
Why is the rope
wet in the well?
Wet. If the well
is
dry.
Yeah, because you might run out of time. You're not going to run out of turns today. You get 40 turns today, more or less. But you were like, you know, it's a good habit to have going forward, because as you start to shape the story, bro, you don't want to scroll back up and have to reread the whole story because you've lost your place.
Inside, the air is thick with the smell of grain. Beeswax and dried herbs, sacks of flowers and oats line one wall. Rolls of ropes and canvas hang from the rafters. Shelves hold candles, lanterns, jars of pickled vegetables, and a neat row of leather water skins. Behind the counter, a woman with straw-coloured hair and flour on her forearms looks up from a ledger, and a small smile tugs at the corner of her mouth. New face, Mirror Thornfield says, setting down her pen. Eldon's been muttering about Dragonborn for the better part of the morning. That's you, I take it. She wipes her hand on her apron and leans on the counter, sizing you up with sharp, friendly eyes. You'll be wanting supplies before the woods then. I've got rope, ration, torches, and a few things that'll keep you on your feet if the tourist takes the bite out of you. Oh, I wonder if one of those things would be a backpack. The storm is quiet, the mill rumbling its low song through the wall, and through the window you see square, where the dry well waits patient as stone. What catches your eyes across the counter?
Hold on. Scroll down first, see if you've got any money in your inventory.
I do. I've got like
19 gold pieces.
19. But hold up. What'd she say? So what she said to me is you've been wanting supplies. I got rope, rations, and torches.
So get as much in this one turn as you can. So get what you think you're gonna need, and see if they've got a backpack in there. You know, like get everything in one, and there's like, you know, since you only get 20 turns, like try to min-max your turns, if you know what I mean.
You must be Mirror. Alden. Mention that.
No. Say Eldon sent you here. Get that brain going, bro. It sent me here to grab some supplies for the quest that he sent me on, you know.
Some supplies to aid me in my quest.
Say you have some money, but if if there's like, I'll be able to pay what I can while I'm here, but obviously this quest may take me some like time. I can get like a, I don't know, like a tick, you know, like a ledger, so that like I can.
Most appreciated.
Yeah.
If you could sell me some rations and a torch, and if not too much of a bother,
I don't even give it the chance. Just be like rations, torch, and a backpack.
And I'm gonna lie to her. Alden said you may have a backpack.
Oh no! Don't lie to her. Just ask for a backpack, and then or you could have that's the one for free.
I'm going to lie to her. I need a backpack. I don't have a backpack. I've got all this crap I'm carrying around. I don't even know how I'm carrying it. Mira's eyebrows lift at the mention of Alden, and a knowing glint passes through her eyes. She sets down her pen and folds her arms, leaning her hip against the counter, studying with a good human suspicion of a woman who's been talked out of her own merchandise before. Rations and a torch. That's easy enough, but a backpack? Free? And Alden sent you to ask for it, did he? She says his name with a particular weight as if testing it. The mill rumbles through the wall. The store smells of grain and beeswax. That old man owes me 2 sacks of flour and an apology, and now he's sending Dragonborn to charm the difference out of my stock. Convince me he'd want me to part with it.
Well, you got a DC 15 roll, bro. You need to hit a 12.
Oh, my God.
Not quite a critical failure, but a failure nonetheless.
Oh, my God.
Welcome to my starting
horrible.
my D&D, bro. I was having to roll 15s too on fucking, at least I didn't have a +3. I was rolling 15s on a 0 checks. It's all good. It's all good. You'll see how the roll ends up.
She sets a pack of 5 torches and a 5-day ration bundle. God, I gotta answer this. God damn. The mill rumbles its steady song through the wall as she writes the figure in the ledger. Mira wraps the rations in oilcloth and tucks the torches behind them, pushes the bundle across towards you. 4 gold pieces and yours, she says. Torches will burn bright enough for the shadows on us, and the rations will keep. What do you do?
No, space to continue. Always space to continue. Always get the next dialogue. See how it's got the.
She leans her hip against the counter again, arms folded and nods. The backpack's still up there on the hook. 2 gold if you want it. Well, you can tell Alden. I said his debt's getting older than my grandmother. Either way, the store's open and it's not going anywhere. Outside the mill turns the wheel. I'm going to ask her for 1 gold. The dry well stark stone at the centre.
No, you've got enough gold. How much gold was the? Because you got 19 gold pieces.
How about 1 gold?
Yeah, but you're gonna fucking use the turn for that. You're gonna use the turn to save 1 gold.
Well, I've got to answer anyway. How about 1 gold? For the backpack.
Oh no, I got a better one. How about 1 gold for the backpack, and then like 4 gold for the rations and thing. Add in a thing of water, and I'll make sure old mate pays you once I go talk to him about it. And be like, I'll relay the message and get him to pay you for the old stock if you get the discount.
Well, it's 4 gold for everything. So,
oh, is it?
Gold, yeah, 4 gold.
How much was it? Scroll up, have a look.
It's 4 gold. My Mira wraps the rations in all cloths and torches and besides.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 4 gold.
Is it 4 gold for everything? I mean, you may as well go 3 gold. Save your gold deal.
No, hold up. And I will gladly pay the 4 gold. If no, I know there was something in there that was. Where is it?
No, it's down.
If you would kindly throw me a jar of pickles. Pickled vegetables.
And then say you'll help her with recovering the debt from the old guy.
Also, as a added bonus.
No, say for the discount of the bag. No, for the discount of the bag.
Yeah, let me cook. Once my business in the woods is finished, I will help to pressure the old codger into paying you what is required.
Hold on, wait. You gotta be careful about this one, because pressure is intimidate. The old codger is the elder of the village. Okay. You gotta remember that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say old codger.
But say something like persuade.
Persuade.
Yeah, I'll persuade, or like I'll endear to return the debt to you. Because you'll have to go back. I reckon you'll have to go back and see him once more about some law of the area. That once you've done your investigations.
Kind words. There we go. Mira stops mid-reach for the ledger, and a slow grin spreads across her face. She sets her hand to the counter and gives you a long, appraising look. The look of a woman who enjoys a good haggler almost as much as she enjoys a full till. 1 gold for the pack, the rations and torches for, and a jar of pickles thrown in, and a Dragonborn's word that you'll talk to the old man into paying his debt. You're asking me to lose money on 3 different items and trust it's danger on a 4th. It's a bold, I like it, I like bold, but my pickles are the best between here and the keep, and they don't come free for just anyone. Sweeten the deal properly and we have an arrangement. Come on, charisma. I'm a wizard, Harry.
Oh, yes!
I'm a wizard, Harry.
3.
I'm not, I'm a sorcerer, but same thing. Let's go.
That's the one. You got it. Here we go. Let's see how it fucking rolls the persuasion out.
Mira's grin breaks into full warm laugh and she claps her hand flat in the counter. Done! You've got the makings of a proper trader, Dragonborn, and I mean that as a compliment. 1 gold for the pack, the pickles on the house, and your word that you'll shake the flower dead out of Alden. She pushes back the... Oh, I need to keep that.
Yeah, you need to keep that. I put it under quests. As part of my deal with Mira for the thing, you know, I have to fucking shake the flower dead out of them. Yeah. That's far better than my quest currently. My quest is, the deal I have with the darkness is I have to stack the bones of everything I kill as a count, so it can count.
She pushes the rations and torches across and turns and lifts a worn leather backpack off by the door. It's buckles brass and it's stitching old but true. This one's been around the region twice and outlived 2 owners. She's got more trips in her. She disappears behind the counter and comes back with a jar of pickled vegetables. Yeah, boy. The glass catching the light like a jar of captured autumn. Best pickles between here and the keep. Don't eat them all before you cross the tree line or you'll waste my goodwill. Mira settles the deal with a firm nod and wipes her hands on her apron. And the ledger closed at last. I'll hold you to that promise about Odin, you hear? 2 sacks of flour and an apology. I want to add apology to that.
Yeah.
And an apology. Man, I better sort this out for the old codger. He won't do anything for me.
No. It's real easy now, because once you go do some investigation, go back to the old codger and talk to him about the shit you've investigated, and while you're investigating it, be like, hey, I went to this fucking thing you told me, and she ended up fucking ringing my asshole because I used your name, and you have a debt you've got to pay, and if you want me to complete this quest, I want you to pay that debt and an apology, mate. Like this is for the and if he has a sour about it, be like, it's for the good of the whole village, and then he'll fold. Guarantee.
And since you've paid fair and talked sweet, a word of advice, free of charge. The wood's changed, and it's not just the howling. The trees don't feel right, and the folk who know them best say the old paths are moved. If you want a guide who knows where they went, there's a trapper named Garrett Ash. Quiet fellow, keeps the cabin north edge of the village.
Yeah, see, that's why you got to get into that storyline shit. Those fucking you just got thrown a fucking an NPC that can help you out.
Yeah, a bone. I just got thrown a bone.
Well, not just a bone. You just got thrown a party member.
She nods towards the door where the mill turns its slow wheel beyond the glass. You've got supplies, a pack and pickles. That's a good start. The well's still dry, the woods are still dark, and Alden's still waiting to see what you're made of. I'd say the morning's yours. The trapper's cabin, the dry well, or the north road? Which way do you go? Oh, I'm going to head to the... Why is there a 7 there? I'm going to head to the trapper's cabin. I head out and move towards the trapper's cabin. Whistling a low festive tune after my well-earned goods are secured.
Now, if you look while it's loading on the side, see you got a backpack now in your inventory.
Oh, is it already there? I do too.
Yep. You
Excellent.
can't pick up individuals, so it adds all that
Oh, and
shit, and you
torch,
apply that.
rations.
Yeah, everything gets added in
Oh, and
there.
it's
So
got my
like,
gold. That's cool.
yeah, and it takes you. Yeah, so it does. It does. But like, go look at your party quest and NPC lines now. Now
Oh,
you've got
shopkeeper.
so yeah, and yeah, you went neutral with the quest giver, but that's all right. But yeah, so it literally tracks everything for you as well. And if you're in combat, there's a combat tab in that one too.
You shoulder your new pack and step out to step out the store, the bell chiming once behind you, and strike north through the village with a low tune on your lips. It's the kind of tune a dragonborn looms in the warm clutch and hums in the cold one. A thread of brass and ember that turns the quiet morning into something almost festive. The farmers in the fields look up from their work as you pass, and a few of them smile despite themselves. It's been a while since anyone whistled in Thornfield. The mill sits where the stream bends at the village's northern edge, with a great wheel turning slow and dark beyond its roofline. The whispering woods stand close, closer than the fields should allow. The living quarters attached to the mill are more cabin than cottage, plank walls gone silver with weather, a curl of smoke rising from the chimney. No one is at the door, but as you approach, still whistling, you notice movement high up, and there he is, a broad-shouldered man in his 50s, grey at the temples, perched on the mill roof with the stillness of a man who has spent the night watching for something. Garrett Ash. He has flour dust on his coat and a soldier's stillness under it. He is not looking at you, he is looking past you at a tree line where the shadows sit wrong in the morning light. He finally turns his head as your tune dies in the air and his eyes, pale and flat, run over you the way a man reads a bill of lading, looking for what's missing. It's a bright noise for a village that's been holding its breath, he says, his voice low and rough, worn down by years of disuse. Either you don't know what's in those woods, or you're the only one in Thornfield who's decided not to be afraid of it. He drops down from the mill roof with a thump of boots, dust rising around his ankles, and studies you with the same flat attention. Mira sent you. She sends most folks who want to talk to me. What do you want, stranger?
I'd start by saying that you are not the only one in the village that doesn't fear this fucking darkness, because he's looking out the
Yeah, I was
woods
thinking the same
watching it.
thing. He's
He's
the next
hunting it.
soldier. He's the next soldier.
Start with that, and then continue on, and then be like, Mira sent me because she said you're a good trapper and a guide, and I'm looking for someone that doesn't mind a little bit of something or other. Keen to see if you would like to lead me or help me or something, and then figure out the rest yourself. You know what I mean? But that's because now what you can do is you can mold the story, because he's made it out like everyone in the village is fucking scared of the darkness or like whatever's out there. But this guy's clearly sitting up there watching, so he might be afraid of it, but he's definitely willing to have a fucking jam. Kind of mold the storyline to make him that way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And you'll gaze into the woods as I walked up.
Yeah, it's quite good, hey, the endlessness. It's actually, like, I was looking for one and I found this one, like, and I was like, oh, 20 turns is fucking kind of shit for the day. But, like, 100's not bad for the $10, but it's pretty, I know, it gives you something to do for, like, half an hour a day, and keeps you entertained in between the hard out gaming.
I can. Try and sugar them up with some pickled vegetables. Oh, I spelt you wrong. Damn it.
What was that, sorry?
Ah, I feel I'm not the only one who does not fear the woods. My good man, your eyes show... Oh, here we go. Garrett's jaw tightens and for a moment he just looks at you. Really looks. The way a man looks at a coin he's trying to decide its counterfeit. Then something shifts in his flat eyes, a crack in the stillness, and he lets out a short breath that is almost a laugh. You got eyes like a trapper and a tongue like a merchant, he says. That's a rough warmth under the words now, buried deep but real. He glances back at the tree line. His gaze goes hard. Most folk in this village stopped looking at the trees weeks ago. They look at their feet, they look at the ground where the animals used to be. You're the first one who's asked what I'm looking at instead of what I'm afraid of. He rubs a flour-dusted hand across his jaw, studying you. Mira told you about me, and you came anyway. That's either brave or stupid. I've learned the two look alike until they matter. This is what I said. I feel I'm not the only one who does not fear the woods, my good man. Your eyes show steel in your gaze as you gaze into the woods. As I walked up, showed steel, not fear, like you were judging or looking for something when most would hide or be running in the other way. You're correct. Mira did happen to send me away. I did what you said, I added. Mira send me away. She said you would be the one I should talk to about being guided on my path, and I see now she is correct. From your gaze, I would like to ask that you guide me into the woods and aid in the investigation. I would happily share some of my pickled vegetables with you while we talk. Mira speaks strongly of the... He hooks a thumb towards the cabin door where a thread of smoke still rises. I've been watching these woods since first sheep went missing, and I've seen things that don't walk on four legs. I know the old paths and I know they've moved. He pauses, his voice drops. I'm not a guide, stranger. I'm a man who owes the trees a reckoning, and I haven't worked up the nerve yet. That might be worth knowing before you ask me to walk beside you. He crosses his arms, flour dust settles around the boots and waits. The mill wheel creaks its slow turn, and beyond it the woods stand dark and patient, as if they already know the answer.
Mo, you getting fucked.
Let's go, 20! Oh,
Ooh, hit it too.
14. Yeah.
Oh, look at that +3 roll. Let's go.
Garrett holds your gaze. Yeah, I put 3 into that and 2 into wisdom. Garrett holds your gaze for a long moment, the mill wheel creaking in slow turn behind him, and then something in his flat eyes finally gives. He lets out a breath that carries the weight of weeks, and a ghost of a grin tugs at the corner of his mouth. The first one you've seen on him. Reckoning then, he says, and the word lands like a stake being driven. I've been sitting on that mill roof long enough to know the difference between a man who wants a guide and a man who wants a reason. You've got both. He nods once, a soldier's nod, final as a snapped latch. I'll walk with you into these woods. I'll show you the paths and I'll watch your back. And if what I've seen out there is what I think, we'll settle the debt together. But hear me now, when we cross that tree line, you listen to me and you don't ask questions twice. The woods don't give second chances, neither do I. Fair enough. I'm asking him to guide me. Why would I not listen to him?
That's what I'm saying.
He turns towards the cabin, pauses and glances over his shoulder. Give me time to bank the fire and ready my pack. Mira's pickles are a fair wage for a day's walking. It worked. I offered him Mira's pickled vegetables to come on, and I've been mind to hold you to them. The ghost of a grin lingers a moment longer, and for the first time standing in the shadow of dark trees, Garrett Ash looks like less of a man waiting for something and more like a man getting ready to meet it. Garrett disappears into the cabin, and through the open door you catch the hiss of water thrown in the coals and the scrape of a pack being lifted from a hook. He emerges a few moments later with a weathered pack on his shoulders, a heavy knife at his belt, and a long bow in his fist that looks like has seen more use in the village mill. He pauses on the doorstep, looks up at the pale autumn sky, and then looks at you with those flat steel eyes, now holding something like purpose. Food, fire, and a good knife, he says, patting his pack. That's what a man carries into these woods. Everything else is noise. I'm going to burn him down. He nods towards the north where the tree line stands dark against the bright morning light, and for the first time you see him square his shoulders like a man about to do the thing he's been putting off. The old paths run straight to the keep in my grandfather's day. They've moved since. I know where they went, or I did, and I'll know again once I'm under those branches. But the woods listen, Dragonborn. So we go in quiet, we go in daylight, and we don't look back until we're through. He sets off without another word, a man of few words and long strides, and the mill wheel turns on behind you as you two of you walk to the village's last lane in the dark edge of the whispering woods.
Well, guess you can't go fucking bail that guy up about the flour. You're gonna have to do it when you come back. But